While studying, switch between types of thinking, making work periods not too long. When your energy runs low, take a short break or switch to a different task, like moving from math to learning a foreign language, then back again after a while. In the meantime, the first task will be processed in the diffuse mode, and when you return to it, it will come much more easily. However, you also need short breaks where no focused attention is required. During these times, you can draw, take a shower, or listen to music without lyrics. Don't chase after others. Otherwise, you'll spend too much time trying to absorb the material and end up falling behind even more. Soon, you might give up on these subjects altogether because nothing will seem to work out. By absorbing the material more slowly but more deeply, the subject will become easier in the future. First, break the material into manageable parts. Then organize your time so that you can focus as much as possible on each part. If you don't grasp the basics, further learning will be pointless. Try not to get stuck on the first idea that comes to mind. It can prevent you from finding easier solutions. For example, chess players who get stuck like this genuinely believe they're considering alternative solutions, searching for them on the board. However, an analysis of their eye movement shows that they're still thinking about the same idea. In such cases, it's necessary to switch to diffuse mode. It has been found that closing your eyes, even when blinking, deactivates your attention and refreshes your perception for a moment. So, when thinking about a problem, intentionally close your eyes. This will help your brain switch to diffuse mode and approach the problem from a new perspective. One of the best chess players used to stand up during his opponent's turn and turn away from the board. This allowed him to return with a fresh view. It's like a brick wall. Leaving time between periods of focused attention allows the neural connections to settle and become stronger. Therefore, breaks between challenging tasks are very beneficial. Hence the saying, sleep on it. But if you cram in a short period, the neural connections won't solidify in long-term memory. Working memory and long-term memory. Working memory is the part of memory that deals with current, consciously processed information. It can be compared to a school blackboard. It can hold only 4 chunks of information. You need to make some effort to comprehend and memorize a concept, after which it will take up less space in working memory, allowing you to absorb other concepts. To memorize information, close your eyes and repeat it to yourself several times. Or if it's a problem, solve it several times. Then give yourself a small test. This way, the information will transfer to long-term memory. Long-term memory can be compared to a warehouse where information is stored for a long time. It can hold billions of items, and the more frequently the information is repeated, the closer it is to the entrance, making it easier to recall. Therefore, spaced repetition, such as reviewing information every day, will be effective. Sleep is crucial for learning. When you're awake, toxic substances accumulate in the brain. When you go to sleep, the cells shrink, causing the distance between them to significantly increase, allowing your brain to be cleaned. If you don't get enough sleep, you'll think less clearly. Also, during sleep, the brain strengthens the neural connections in the areas where you're trying to learn. So in the morning, everything will be easier to remember. Chapter 4. chunks of information. Attempting to recall the material you're studying is far more effective than simply rereading it. However, most students rely on the latter. Yes, with each reading, the information will come easier, giving students the illusion that they've understood and memorized it. But when the time comes, they won't remember it. Rereading is only useful in the case of spaced repetition. After reading a term, look away and repeat it to yourself. While trying to understand it better, then read it again and repeat. You'll be surprised at how much easier it becomes to understand the material. When reading a book, you can highlight the most important points or write notes and thoughts in the margins, which also helps with memorizing information. Rewriting notes and, most importantly, reviewing the material before bed can also help. After reading something and trying it out once or twice, a weak neural connection forms. But when you consistently practice, that neural connection becomes stronger. Therefore, it's essential to reinforce the information the next day. Daily practice is crucial in any field of study, so you can solve problems without thinking about the next steps. Try to vary how you solve problems so your brain doesn't get stuck on one method and is always ready to find new solutions. If you encounter several similar problems, solve one and move on to the next. When you finish solving all the problems, go back to the first and repeat it. You'll notice that the next time, the problem is solved differently. Mastery comes when you can solve the problem as easily as reading the multiplication table. Afterward, you can say that you've formed a chunk of information. Don't worry if this takes a long time. The longer it takes, the deeper the neural connection will be, and the more effectively the material will be stored in long-term memory. If you liked the book summary, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button.